Get started in about, just a little over a minute.
Great. And then before Barbara starts, I just wanted to really quick put up our waiver and tell you about a new program that we have starting on Monday. Super excited about it. It's a 3-week strength training program called Level Up. And it starts on Monday, but it's great for all levels. So if you're a beginner, not quite sure how you want to start off with strength training, or if you're someone that's been doing it a long time, this program is going to be for you. And then really quick, we have ergonomics at HP, and Andrea is your go-to person at HP. Get our resources up here really quick. I'm going to stop sharing and let Barbara take it away.
Excellent. Let me get my timer started here and turn my camera on for you. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for ERGOFIT today. There we go. That's better. Now you can see me. Perfect. All right. So today we can start out seated or standing, totally up to you. I'm going to stand today, but we're going to start out with a couple great big deep breaths and hands up over our head. My name's Barbara Morgan with Health Fitness, and thank you for joining me for these quick 10 minutes of stretching. Again, it is just mild stretching. You don't want anything to hurt. You can reach out to the wall. We're going to take another great big deep breath. If you want to grab your wrist and kind of pull on your arm a little bit. If you've been sitting all day, please try to do this standing up. But if you're in a big open area and you can't, everything today could be done seated if you wanted. And one more stretch to the top. So it's been a few weeks. We're going to focus mostly on our hands today. Being office workers, that's a lot of what happens, is we spend all of our time. Sorry, trying to get myself big on my screen. All right, I just want to make sure everybody can see me. So we're going to start out with some wrist circles. So let me stand sideways here. So really want to try to exaggerate how much the wrist makes the circle. We're going to go clockwise first. So you can hold your forearm, and you really want to see how much range of motion you can get with your wrist all the way around. So we're going to do that 3 or 4 times clockwise. And then we're going to go counterclockwise. I encourage people to find a couple stretches that really feel good for the kind of work that you do. You might mouse a lot most of the day. You might type a lot depending on your role. So just a few more on the right, and then we're going to switch over to the left. We're going to go clockwise first. So anytime during the day that you can just grab, especially one of these hand stretches, and we're going to reverse and go back to counterclockwise. And you're going to feel this all the way up into your forearm. You might even feel it in your elbow, depending on your flexibility. Excellent. Shake those out a little bit. We're going to do some wrist extensions now. So what we want to do is we want to have the palm facing ceiling, and we're going to take our other hand and pull down so that we are getting this nice stretch up through, especially the wrist, but again, that will go into the forearm. Now, if you want to make this a little more involved, let me step back for you. You can actually point your hand down toward the ground, and that's going to get a little bit higher of a stretch. Again, we're just doing these stretches to the point of, a tug. There should never be any pain. And you want to hold this for 15, 20, 30 seconds. If it feels really good, please hold it longer. And now we're going to switch over to the left hand. Again, we're just taking our palm and pulling back on the fingers in the palm and just getting that really nice stretch. Want to always give some love to your non-dominant hand. All right, and now we're going to go back to the right hand again, and we're going to push down on the back of the palm. So now we're stretching the top. So most of the stretches that we do for the hand really are things that you aren't doing at all in your normal day. The problem with our office work is we do very small movements over and over and over again. So that's what we want to counteract, because that's how we develop repetitive stress injuries, and that's what we're trying to avoid. And we're going to go back over to the left hand and push down on that palm. Again, and if it feels really good, hold it longer. And I wanted to thank everyone. I get pinged every time you forward the invite on to somebody to have them join us. So thank you. There's probably about 10 a week that are getting forwarded. So I appreciate you liking what you're doing with me and passing it on to your coworkers. Excellent. So we're going to shake it out a little bit. So now we're going to do what's called the tendon glide. So we're going to start with our hand up, and we want to just bend the fingers down just a little bit so that the tops of your fingers are at the top of your palm. And then we're going to straighten it back up. We're going to come down a little bit further so that our knuckles are flat on the top. We're going to come back up. We're going to go forward, come back up, and go into a full fist with the thumb on the outside. And then we're going to open it up, kind of wiggle your fingers a little bit, shake it out, and we're going to move over to the right. So we're going to do that same thing. Up. So you'll do this so you can see. We're coming down just a little bit. So we're getting a nice stretch through the fingers, which again, we really don't in how we mouse all day. Going to come down halfway, all the way up. We're going to come down flat. This is great if you're making shadow puppets. And then we're going to come down all the way into a fist. So I'm going to do that again. Just a little bit more. Flat. Full fist. And wiggle our fingers and shake it out. We're going to do one more on the right. Straight ahead, all the way up. A fist, and shake it out. And one more on the left. Straight out. All the way down. And stretch it out. So one of the other things I wanted to spend a little bit of time on today is we've not spent a lot of time on our thumbs. So there are a lot of things that we can do to keep kind of that thumb movement going. Depending on what kind of mouse you have, you may have a lot of thumb action during your day, or your thumb might just kind of be there along for the ride. But we'll get tight in this joint in here. So one of the things that we can do is we made a fist with our thumb on the outside. Now we want to make a fist with our thumb on the inside. So it gives us a stretch back through the thumb area. And then we can also have our thumb reach out to each finger individually. And that gives us a nice stretch through the back of the thumb here. So you can just roll through that a couple times. And we're going to go over to the left hand. And you want to kind of stretch out in between each one. and just shake that out. Now, the other thing that you can do is just gently massage into your thumb area, and also this area right between the thumb and your pointer finger is an area that will get tight, um, sometimes have a little bit of strain, again, depending on how you mouse. So just kind of massaging your hands during the day, rubbing your palm a little bit is really a good way to just kind of loosen things up and just kind of keep those fingers loose. We'll go over onto the left a little bit. So don't forget that on the resource page, there's a link if you'd like to join up for other CubeFit classes besides ErgoFit. There's a whole library out there. I also include every week the YouTube link to every class that we've had, and they're actually listed by what the focus was. So if you just want to focus on hands, you can pull those up. And thank you, because there's just been hundreds of views on those on that YouTube channel. So that's been wonderful too. So today your peg is about lighting. Just to go real quickly, you want to make sure that your light is perpendicular to you or overhead. Know that if for some reason you have to have light directly towards you or behind you, especially for those of you in a home office, there are anti-glare screens. So there's a slide out there on the deck that'll be posted at the end. And I just want to thank everybody for your time today. Thanks for joining me. See you next Wednesday. Pass on the link. Bye, guys.